So this is not going to be a wild video with gates dropping and me talking to hogs and calling them fella. This is a tech video, and we feel that's important. Part of our educational drive with doing the videos. We are adamant about every month doing trap maintenance. What does that mean? Swapping batteries in the control box, updating firmware and cameras, getting the feeder situated, testing the feeder, everything. Yesterday, it was about 30 degrees, which was really cool for South Georgia. I'm down in a hole doing trap maintenance, had some technical issues. So we have a 3-step system, if I can talk, that we test our batteries, okay? They come off the charger, they sit and cool, we test them, okay? Then we're like, good voltage, put them on the shelf for rotation for the 22 systems in 2 states. We pull them off the shelf, put them on the workbench, test them before they go out for maintenance. And then when we get here, we test them. Now this is one of the few traps that we can actually get to by a truck. And the Tacomas ain't nothing but a big gator. Normally for most of our stuff, it's 4-wheelers or gators to get to it. It's dry enough now that we can ease in here with the Tacoma, and we have this elaborate workbench. Yesterday, we didn't have that luxury. So yesterday when we went to drop the gate to test it, I could hear it click, but nothing happened. Generally, I'm going to go, well, that's a battery. But I just tested the battery when I, loaded it on the 4-wheeler, drove down into the woods, blah, blah, blah. So every trapping bag that we carry, I have one over here hooked to the panels, voltmeter. I hit it with the voltmeter. At 12.8, that's plenty enough to drop a gate. I couldn't figure it out. So I pulled these 2 wires off of the RF receiver. Okay, so you get your positive and your negative. And I was like, something's going on. I'm not getting the voltage. So I plugged these into the battery. I put my leads on my voltmeter here, and I had a significant voltage drop. So, is that a complaint? Not really. That particular trap had been in the field for 10 years. 10 years. So I'm like, okay. So I went back up to the truck, took the 4-wheeler, and got all my stuff. And I cut new leads and put them into the RF receiver, hooked them to the battery. Bam, bam, bam. Dropped every time. So if your gate doesn't drop, generally what's going to happen, all of us in the field are going to be like, hey, go at the battery. Because people just don't really keep track of it like we do, is because it's what we do for a living. But never ignore the fact that inside these wonderful enclosed little guys here, you can't look inside of them, and there might be a slight bit of corrosion over the years. And that's not a complaint. 10 years is pretty good, in my opinion, out here inside this metal box that gets cold, it gets hot, it gets rain, it gets everything, a little bit of corrosion. And so before you jump to conclusions that, hey, maybe the RF receiver's bad or da-da-da-da-da, never ignore the fact of looking at this. Now, we're going to buzz you around and show you this trap here. It's just kind of a learning point. This particular property was clear-cutted recently. And we were just kind of like, all right, they clear-cutted it. The hogs just aren't going to find this interesting anymore. Guess what? They still do. We actually moved the system out and we've brought it back because they're still good with it. Why? Probably because we got a little water hole. Not really sure why there's a water hole. Maybe it's an Oasis spring or something, but it's really dry, but there's still water in that thing. Today it's got a layer of ice on it. And in this particular case with a semi-permanent trap, which is what we run all the time, we're running live video, we're running a Jagger Pro ice camera, and over there on a tree is actually another Jagger Pro ice camera. Why on a tree? It's looking at the water hole. A lot of times with these migratory hogs, they will come through an area. They'll go, yeah, seen this before, because they're educated, because unfortunately a lot of people educate hogs. And they're like, yeah, seen that little mess before. Yeah, that don't look good. But they'll jack around in the water. We feel that this area is significant to the hogs because 1, a water source, 2, they've got a migratory pattern through here. And that's what I got. Hang on. So all of our trucks have a trapping bag. That's what we call the trapping bag. And basically anything you can imagine's in there. I mean, everything. Anything we need to work on a system. 12 panel Jager Pro, 4-legged on-time feeder. It's not the newest gate for Jager Pro. It's not the oldest, but probably it's one of our favorite gates. And then if you come over here, you'll see we've got a Jager Pro ice camera. And then literally hanging off of that tree right there is another Jager Pro ice camera. And we got a water hole. And you wouldn't think hogs would migrate through here with it being so wide open, but you can look here at all this historical hog rubbing. They just love rubbing up against these trees. And we've been on this property since 2018. And then again, if you're gonna do this job, you've gotta have the equipment, you've gotta have the tools, connectors, wire, all of that. And why are the batteries laying on the side? Because we've learned over the years, lay them on the side, that means that battery's going back. It's not a battery that's fully charged. So when you're talking about inside the control box, what you're looking at is right there. Get my big finger out of the way, right? And these leads right here, okay, is the issue on the other trap, not this particular trap. Pretty easy to take out. It's just 2 Phillips screws, pop them right out. So we hope the video helps. Real easy to go down into a rabbit hole. I did yesterday. Maybe because it was just cold and I was like, man, I want to get out of here. But, you know, I'm thinking it's the RF receiver. We've got spare ones in the truck. We've got actuators in the truck. We got everything because it's what we do for a living. Never did think of something as simple as this. I knew the battery was good, but I never did think about these little connectors. And so over time, yeah, corrosion's going to happen. It is. And just be cognizant of that. And, you know, if you hear a slight click, it's like, it's got enough juice to do it, but not enough to drop it. And then literally taking these off, hooking them up to the battery and checking my voltage, I saw the drop. And that's why we're big about this. Voltmeters. You got to have them for these electronic systems. So that being said, I got 2 more to get to before I can call it a day. And she's starting to go down. Y'all have a great day. Appreciate the support. We love feedback. Please give us feedback. We hope that these videos help you all. And again, just try to trap intelligently. Because last night, we're sitting there watching a sow that literally will not come in. And we know why she won't come in, because somebody's done educated her. So y'all have a great day.